So I am back in Boise, and I think this is a good time to show people how to record amps in a house/apartment area. And at the time of filming this, I am just realizing it's raining outside, and my amp, it's in my car. Okay, I'm back. It is kind of messy in here, I know. I mean, I just got here last night. But my main amp that I use to record and stuff like that is this bad boy, this Fender Champion 100. It is a 2-channel amp, and I absolutely love this thing to death. I use it on literally everything, and if I'm not using this, I'm using an amp sim that's basically a model of a Fender amp like this. Now, like every Fender amp, this bad boy gets really loud if you barely turn the knob. And this has two 12-inch speakers. Two 12-inch speakers. It's a heavy and loud kind of guy. So I think we should just kind of go ahead and test it out. The first thing you want is a closet, which is the one right behind me where I keep basically all my amps and recording stuff. Now, I am kind of lucky that these are decently thick walls. However, I have some ways to help deaden the sound. Also, mind you, this is also if you want to record amps like this, or if you have a really cool tube amp that you like to crank to get a nice natural distortion. For me, I just like miking amps, and also it's just very fun for me to do. So, enough talking, let me just show you how to get a good sound in a house like this with a giant freaking amp. So, the first thing we want is the closet. The second thing, we actually want the amp to be kind of off the floor a little bit. This will help catch bass, because bass tends to really resonate throughout walls and whatnot. And I think having it pointed away from a room would also just be kind of courteous to others. So what I have right now is my Squier Telly, my Fender amp, and what I'm using is that $20 microphone for those with baller knowledge. Here's kind of what that sounds with the door open. It has this really killer reverb on it that I absolutely love from the Fender amp. So now I'm going to close the door and let's do some tests. Okay, so here it is now with the guitar door closed. Not the greatest tone for that song, I know, but just playing open chords like that kind of gives us a good feel of what the sound is. Cool, now let's try one more thing. Now for this final test, I'm going to use this Behringer Match C2 condenser microphones, which are known for their stupid crazy sensitivity pattern. Great for overhead drum mics. Wink wink, that's a future thing. So what I'm going to do is set this up outside of the room, like downstairs, and see what the sound is. Okay, we're back. So I think that the sound from the Behringer mic, I crank the gain on my interface, so it's very, very spotty sounding. However, I think this was a good test. Mainly because you gotta remember, that amp right there is I think I have it at a 5, which is gig level, right? So a 5 on that thing, and you can kind of hear it faintly, that's pretty good news. And I mean, as always, you gotta be conscious about your surroundings and your neighbors because you don't want to get evicted. So I honestly think this was a pretty good shootout, but it was time worth spent, for me at least. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and comment them down below. I'd love to read them. And again, please make sure to like and subscribe if you really like this content. And yeah, have a good day.